You are likely not hungry. You are not starving for nutrients. You are starving for stimulation. We are living in an era where your brain has been hijacked by a mixture of compounds more potent than many illicit chemicals. You aren't losing weight because you lack discipline. You are struggling because your reward system is broken. It's time to rewire. Welcome to Levitas. I have a very serious question for you, and I want you to be honest in the comments right now. When you sit down to eat dinner, whether it's a salad or a burger, can you eat it without looking at your phone? Can you eat without the TV on? Or does the food taste bland without the screen? Let me know down below. If you answered no, you are not alone. You are suffering from what I call dopamine stacking. And today, we are going to fix it. Why you can't stop snacking or scrolling. For you to understand, we have to look at the Nucleus Accumbens. This is the pleasure center of your brain. Every time you do something that aids survival, like eating berries or finding a mate, your brain squirts a little dopamine. It says, "Good job, do that again." But the modern world has hacked this system. We have created a supernormal stimuli. An apple releases a moderate amount of dopamine. And a processed, sugary donut releases a massive flood. Now, combine that donut with a social media feed that refreshes every 15 seconds. What you are actually doing is hitting your brain with a level of stimulation that it was never designed to handle. A landmark study published in Nature Neuroscience in 2010 confirmed this. Researchers found that rats fed a diet of cheesecake and bacon developed compulsive eating behaviors that activated the exact same neural pathways as any addiction. They would endure painful electric shocks just to get the junk food. This isn't gluttony. It's a hijack. So, what does your brain do when it's being screamed at by dopamine all day? It protects itself. It turns down the volume. This is called receptor downregulation. Your brain literally removes dopamine receptors, specifically D2 receptors, from the cell surface. Think of it like listening to music. If the music is too loud, you put in earplugs. Once your brain puts in those earplugs, normal things, like a walk in the park, an apple, or a friendly conversation, don't feel like anything. They totally feel boring, like you are numb. A study in The Lancet showed that obese individuals have significantly fewer dopamine receptors than lean individuals. This creates a tragic cycle, because you can't feel pleasure easily. You need more food and more scrolling just to feel okay. You aren't chasing a high anymore, you are running away from the low. And here is where the big weight gain happens. When your dopamine is chronically low because of this downregulation, your body enters a state of stress. Dopamine and cortisol, the stress hormone, have an inverse relationship. When dopamine drops, cortisol spikes. This is why the dopamine fast is so hard. When you put the phone away and stop eating sugar, you don't just feel bored. You feel anxious. You feel a physical agitation. That is your cortisol rising. You binge eat not because you want the food, but because the sugar spike temporarily lowers the cortisol. You are self-medicating your own stress hormones. So, how do we fix this? We have to go through the withdrawal. I want to give you the Levitas timeline, so you know exactly what to expect. The days 1 through 3 of a dopamine detox are the hardest. You will feel irritable. You might have headaches. You will feel phantom hunger, where your stomach is full, but your brain is screaming for a texture or a taste. This is the brain tantrum. Around day number 7, you will feel better, but this is the worst trap. Your brain will try to negotiate. I've been good, just one video. Just one cookie. This is where most people fail. But you must hold the line. And if you make it to day number 14, magic happens. Your receptors start to upregulate. They come back online. Suddenly, an apple tastes incredibly sweet. A conversation feels engaging. You wake up with natural energy. To get there, you have to embrace something you are terrified of: boredom. In our culture, boredom is considered a sin. In biology, boredom is a fertilizer. When you are bored, your brain activates the default mode network. A 2019 study in Academy of Management Discoveries found that boredom sparks creativity and problem-solving. But more importantly, boredom triggers neurogenesis, the growth of new brain cells. When you constantly consume content, you are clogging the inputs. You never give your brain the silence it needs to repair itself. Now, I promised you a specific tool. How do we speed up this process? How do we restore dopamine sensitivity without waiting months? There is one activity that acts as a hard reset for your neurochemistry. It is cold water immersion. I'm not just talking about it because it's a trendy topic. I'm talking about it because of the scientific data. A study in the European Journal of Applied Physiology showed that immersion in cold water, with a temperature around 14 degrees Celsius or 57 degrees Fahrenheit, increases dopamine concentrations by 250%. But here is the main key difference between the cold exposure and a candy bar: the dopamine from the cold doesn't crash. It stays elevated for hours. It makes you feel alert, calm, and focused. It resensitizes your brain. So, here is the doctor's verdict. We have stigmatized addiction. We look at an overweight person or a phone-addicted teenager and we usually say that they are lazy. But the thing is that they are not lazy. They are fighting a chemical war with a prehistoric brain, and most of them don't even know it. You cannot win this war with pure willpower alone. You have to change the battlefield. You have to remove the cheap dopamine so your brain has no choice but to heal. I want you to try this for just 24 hours. No social media. No processed sugar. If you feel bored, let yourself be bored. If you feel agitated, take a cold shower. Reclaim your dopamine to reclaim your brain and your life. If you are ready to take control of your health, please help the channel by liking the video and leaving a comment. Your support really helps a ton. I really appreciate you, and remember that we can always be healthier and better. Watch this video suggestion, it was especially picked for you. Also share, comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It helps a ton with the algorithm. Remain tuned for future videos to empower your health and fitness journey. So, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep going.